Hi, I'm Maya, and today I want to talk about Book Lovers and Happy Place by Emily Henry. So first of all, I just want to acknowledge the fact that it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been really busy. I was pregnant, I had a baby, now I have a newborn, and we moved to a new apartment. And so I have a new setup, as you can see, new bookshelves, and some of my husband's books are behind me as well, not just my own. Lots of changes, lots of busyness in my life. That's why I haven't been making as many videos as frequently. But I hope to make as many as I can. There is another video on my channel about Emily Henry's other books, so you can check that out if you haven't already. If you don't know, Emily Henry is the queen of the rom-com. Her books are easy reads and they're a lot of fun. I'm just going to briefly talk about both of these books. They're both great. I actually think they're my favorite and least favorite Emily Henry books as of now. I think I'll talk about my least favorite first and then my favorite. But first of all, it's very strange to me that this book was published hardcover when all of her other books are paperbacks. So I don't really know why they did that, and now the books don't match, and that kind of drives me crazy. Aside from that, I think the reason that this book is not my favorite of hers is I just don't really like the characters as much. I feel like the main characters in her other books are more likable, relatable. I just think there's more depth to them. They feel like real people. These characters kind of felt more like caricatures. Even when depth was attempted to be added, I didn't really feel it as a reader. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, basically this book is about a friend group. They always go to the same vacation house in Maine every year, and this year it's going to be the final trip because the cottage is being sold. The main couple, Wynne and Harriet, have broken up, but the rest of their friends don't know that, and so to keep this like a happy week and to have it be the best final vacation they can have, they pretend that they're still together. Which sounds like it should be fun, but for the most part it was just annoying because these friends are supposed to be so close, but they're all keeping secrets from each other, which I know happens in real life, but it's supposed to be a found family, but I didn't really get that vibe from these people. I think mainly because the book just focuses on all the fun they've had together, like the activities they go and do and the food they eat, instead of like on the moments where they were there for each other through the hard times. I feel like we didn't spend enough time on that, and I think that's what found family is really about, is the more serious side, and I feel like we kind of just were more lighthearted, so it didn't really feel like they were truly a family. Also, one of the members of the friend group, Sabrina, annoyed me to no end. I could not stand her, and the whole time I thought she was going to be like revealed as the villain at the end because she was so annoying, and because they kept mentioning the fact that she had a crush on the main character Harriet's boyfriend Wynne back when they were all just friends. I thought that was going to come back and be significant in some way, but it wasn't, so that detail felt a little unnecessary to me. But in the end, Sabrina is not the villain, and they're all friends, and they've all been keeping secrets from each other, and they all open up and are honest, and that's great. But it didn't feel significant to me when they were all coming clean to each other. I didn't really care. I don't really know why, because I love all of Emily Henry's other books. I love all of her other characters and their arcs and their journeys, but these characters just felt kind of empty. Even though we learned so many details about them, I feel like it was more telling than showing. I feel like I was just given a list of facts about each character, like occupation, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, instead of learning about them through circumstances and events. I did love the setting, Maine. I loved reading about the scenery. Another thing is this book did not make me laugh as much as Emily Henry's other books have made me laugh. And the humor in this book felt like really corny, like millennial humor. Jokes didn't land for me. It did make me cry though, which all of Emily Henry's books make me cry because she's so good at human experience. So there were moments where I did cry, where I felt so bad for Harriet, the main character, especially in her desire to please everybody and to be a peacemaker and to put other people's needs ahead of her own, and to feel like she constantly has to prove herself and be someone that other people can be proud of, and she doesn't want to mess up, and she feels like she has to be perfect All of those things were very well written, and I felt very emotionally attached to Harriet in those moments. So that was great. But I think the most frustrating thing about reading this book is that Harriet and Win, the main couple, the reason that they broke up is so stupid to me. Like, I just feel like even though it is explained, it doesn't feel like a good enough explanation for me. I feel like they're being unnecessarily pig-headed, stubborn, and stupid. Instead of it being angsty and dramatic, which I love, it was just annoying and aggravating. And I just wanted to shake both of them and say, why aren't you together? You're making this harder than it needs to be. I didn't love it, but I did like it, I did enjoy it, and I do think it's fun. I think there is a lot of good in it. But I just think when you compare it to Emily Henry's other books that are such masterpieces, I feel like this one just falls a little short. Okay, so enough about Happy Place. Now I want to talk about Book Lovers, which I really think is my favorite. It's either this one or Beach Read, because Beach Read is also really good. But I think there's just a certain spark to this book that makes it my favorite. This book is about a literary agent, and I think what I love about this book is that it turns a trope on its head, because Nora, the main character, is the girl that is broken up with and dumped for this cute small town girl that her boyfriend finds when he goes on a trip. Like, that's every Hallmark movie ever. Small town girl steals a guy away from the big city mean business corporate woman, the ice queen. Nora is that ice queen. She is that woman who cares more about her job than anything else and is villainized for it. And I love that she is the main character in this book. Instead of just being a blip, just a minor character, she is the main character. I love that. I think it's so unique and we don't really see it that often. Nora reminds me a lot of Cameron Diaz's character in The Holiday. I just love that Nora gets to tell her side of the story, that we get to see her getting broken up with by this guy who has found the love of his life in the small town. And instead of that just being the end of it, we get to learn more about her and see why she is the way that she is. I just love it so much. I think it's such a fantastic idea. And her love interest, Charlie, is great. He has his own things that he's working through, and their love is so inspiring. And I especially love the relationship between Nora and her sister. And I also love the role that books play in this story. I love how much these characters love books, and I think that just adds an extra element of fun to the story. Favorite Emily Henry book, least favorite Emily Henry book, both great. Obviously, I'm going to read everything she ever writes. I'm a fan for life. Yeah, so if you're ever in the mood for a rom-com, definitely read her books. Thanks so much for watching.